stumbled upon a theory of where his patients go when they're under anesthesia, proving to him the existence of the soul.
I've been practicing anesthesiology for 35 years now, and it's still a kick. It's still amazing every time patients lose their consciousness. At the end, we wake them back up, and I wonder, where did they go? But the real question is, why are they conscious in the first place? So anesthesia is a really good tool to try to figure out what is missing in the anesthetized patient. There we go. You can come with us.
Anesthesia is a mystery. It's been around since 1846, but no one is quite sure exactly how it works, or where we go when we're put under.
Take a good care of her for you. In the 19th century, people started experimenting with laughing gas, nitrous oxide, and they used it for parties. Everybody had a good time. They literally were laughing constantly. And also another gas called ether, diethyl ether, leading to ether frolics. When inhaled in low amounts, people got disinhibited and ebullient and had a great time. And somebody realized if they had too much, they would become unconscious and actually insensitive to pain. And so a number of people began to attempt to use these gases for surgical anesthesia. Slide over. Okay, this arm can go over here.
After years of risky trial and error, doctors perfected the drugs, but they didn't understand the science. In fact, no one understands what happens to the mind under anesthesia.
Generally, one does not dream under anesthesia. There's no consciousness. You're just gone for the duration of the anesthetic. You tell me when you're asleep, okay? That's a trick question. You can't do that. One interesting thing about anesthesia is that patients who are under anesthesia, after they wake up, have no conception of elapsed time whatsoever. And I think the passage of time is a key feature of subjective consciousness. So consciousness is just absent. It's gone.
A brain scanner connected to the patient reveals a startling clue to how anesthesia works. During the surgery, a bright flashing halogen light is used to help stimulate brain response. The bright light pierces her taped shut eyelids. The EEG monitor shows that the patient's brain is responding just as if she were awake.
We see that the brain is quite active, and there's all kinds of evoked potentials going on.
Going under is not like sleep, and this fascinates Hammeroff.
I first got interested in consciousness, how the brain produces experience in college. In medical school, I was doing a research elective in a lab studying cancer, and I was looking at how cells divide.
Hammeroff then learned about microtubules. Microtubules are hollow tubes that can be found in all living cells. 30 years ago, he had his eureka moment, and since then, he has formed a complex theory that microtubules are the location of what some would call the soul.
In my opinion, microtubules are the origin of consciousness, specifically quantum computation synchronized to gamma EEG inside neurons in the brain is the origin of consciousness.
Hammeroff's theory has shocked the world of neuroscience. He's basically saying that consciousness may be found and quantified, that it has substance, and that it survives the body.
I'll stand by this, even though it's a bit controversial. It's conceivable that when a patient has a cardiac arrest or dies, the quantum information that involves consciousness isn't necessarily destroyed, or it may actually just sort of leak out and remain in the universe and remain entangled. If the patient's revived, then it can go back in and the patient had a near-death and out-of-body experience. If the patient dies, it's conceivable to me that that entity, which you could call the soul, remains entangled indefinitely. And so it's conceivable that the soul is a real entity in terms of quantum information embedded in the fundamental level of the universe.